So hey guys, welcome back to this tutorial series on performance testing using Grafana K6. I hope you guys might have visited my YouTube channel where I'm uploading all those tutorials on playlist for this performance testing using Grafana. So yep, let's begin. Let's proceed further. We in the last tutorial written a script for post request with additional checks, additional assertions to validate the record or the entries that we created are correct or not. So today we are going to take a deep dive into the post request, and we'll see a few more post requests. So for that I have created a couple of post requests here. One of them illustrates a register successful. So for any application to work, to authorize the user must be registered with the application, right? So this is the API that RES is providing to register the user. So what are the payload or the key value pairs we are passing here? Email is mandatory and password is also mandatory, right? So if I hit this request, what will happen? It will throw status code as 200 OK. It will create one ID against that user, and it will throw a token. It will generate a token, valid token for that particular user. Okay, so here we will write a script for that, and we will see how we can perform a load test for that. Another scenario is registration unsuccessful. In that case, we are only passing email, we are not passing password here. So in that case, if I hit this request, what will happen? It will throw a 400 bad request error, right? So the status code is 400. So that also we can assert, and we can perform a load test for this 400 status code as well. So let's begin. So I'll quickly copy the same file because we are going to use the same. I'll just make it tut4. We'll put post request registration. So this is the file. Now as I mentioned earlier, we would need this HTTP module from K6, so we have imported that. Additionally, we would need a couple of functions like sleep, group, check, right? In last tutorial we saw check is required to perform those additional validations and all. So similarly, group function is also required to create a group of particular APIs, right? So let's begin. So I'll just bring the request URL from Postman. We will define it here. XAPI key, which is defined at line number 6, would remain same. So we will call that XAPI key from here in headers. The next payload we have to modify, because for successful registration we have two keys. One is one is email, and the other one is password. Right, so we can put any password, any email. Let's say pro sdet with aj@gmail.com. okay, and password I'll just put admin@123. right? So additional checks. So if we look into the response of this API, we will get ID and token. So body.id and body.token we can validate, but the token is generated on the fly. It would be in dynamic in nature, so we can just check for the existence. Okay, so I'll just keep ID, validation for ID. I'll just remove this body, for name as well, and here we will check whether token exists or not. Token exists. What is the body.token? I'll just put here token. That's it, and the status code is 200. okay, so I'll modify that as well. So we will expect at the end 200, which is to be equal to 200. That's it. Okay, let's open terminal. So to open terminal in VS Code, the hotkey is Control Shift. Okay, now let's try to run this. So I'll just put K6 run and the file path. Okay, let's see the response. Why it is failed. Only defined user succeed registration. Okay, response body is not only defined users succeed registration. Okay, defined user means I guess they are only allowing these sort of users. So let's use the same. And rerun the code. Okay, now this time it got succeed. So this you can assume as a limitation. Whatever resist users email ID are there, only those you can use. Password you can pass anything. So you got the token generated here. So this is a registration successful scenario. We can try out with another scenario where registration will get failed, whereas you are passing only email ID, not the password. So let's try automating this as well. I'll just copy paste. I'll rename this as registration unsuccessful. Okay, in that case we just have to remove the password field. And okay, let's try to run. I'll just open another terminal. Okay, K6 run. I'll get the file path. Registration unsuccessful. Okay, probably I need to save it since I am on VS Code. That's why that deleting of password did not accomplish properly. I'll rerun the command prompt. I'll rerun. Now this time, what does it says? Missing password. Okay, that's fine. But the thing is, ID exists, token exists, and status code is 200. This got failed because if you look into the response, we had to validate for 400 status code, but here we are doing it for 200. So let's make it to 400. And what else we are expecting? Error. Okay, so instead of token I'll just put error and body dot error. I'll just remove because in the response body we don't have the ID. Now let's run once again. So now this time it got succeed. Status was 400. Error also exists. The error is missing password. Now so we can also execute the load test for these unsuccessful scenarios as well. So how we can do that? K6 run, define the duration -d. Let's run it for only 20 seconds. Then let's define virtual users by -u. Let's define at 5. Then let's define RPS as well. So RPS will be let's say again set to 5, because since we are trying unsuccessful or 400 error requests, so let's not keep RPS and virtual users high. And then the path of the unsuccessful post request. Let's run it. Okay, we are getting 400, missing password everywhere. This will run for 20 minutes. Perfect. So we got the load testing report for this failed responses. So total request we hit is 210. All of them were responded with 400. The average response time was 179 somewhere around milliseconds, and mean, max, median, 90th percentile and 95 percentile. Okay, so let's see some more post requests now. For that I'll go to next request that I have created in Postman. Okay, so we are just trying to hit the login API. So we must require email ID and password into it, right? So we will get 200 OK response. And to simulate the unsuccessful scenario, we will only pass the email ID without any password. So in that case, if I hit the request, I'll get 400 missing password error. Okay, let's try to automate those two scenarios. Just copy this. I'll rename this as post login. Okay, so the request URL is API/login. Done. So API key we will use the same. Payload will have password field as well. I'll just get it copied from here. And the password is this. Right. And if we hit this, what things we will get? We will get token and 200 response code. So let's modify response code to 200, and what else we are expecting? Body.token. So I'll just check for token to be exist. Token exist. Okay, yeah, that's it. We can run it. Yep. So token exists. We validated 200. Okay. Same way we can further check for unsuccessful login request also. I'll just copy this request once again. I'll just change the name. This would be your login request, so I'll make it login unsuccessful request. Modify the URL. Okay, this time we will only pass the email ID, so that's correct. Then we will look for the status code as 400, and error in that case will be missing password. Okay, it's all set. We can run this. Yep, so the request got succeeded. So even we can run the load test as well. With the same configuration, 5 RPS, 5 virtual users. Yep, missing password. Well, so this is the load test report for failed login attempt. Cool. So hey folks, that's all for today. In the next tutorial we will see other type of requests like delete request or put patch requests. Thank you.